Now, back to Coastal Living on KZTV.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and to help shed light by ending child trafficking through refuge, education, and partnerships, we'd like to welcome Miss Tina Canary. She's the Operations Manager for New Life Refuge Ministries. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Such a pleasure. And so first, just tell us, how serious is human trafficking in Texas? Is this an issue that we need to address?
This is actually a global epidemic in every single neighborhood. There is not one neighborhood that is not going to fall prey.
Okay. And so tell me exactly, what is New Life for?
We actually have several opportunities to get the information out. Our primary refuge is for children who have been trafficked so they can heal, and those are children between 11 and 17 years old.
Wow. Crazy. They're so young.
Right, right. And what is the Refuge of Hope campus?
The campus actually is a place for the children to go and heal. Okay. We give them loving house parents, 24-hour-a-week staff for all the traumas that they have endured. We have trust-based relational interventions. We have a lot of different programs that are built to help them recover completely so that they can move forward and enjoy the lives that they were intended.
Absolutely, and it's got to be something really difficult to overcome, especially when it's something that happens to you at such a young age. It can influence who you become as an adult if it's not addressed at a young age. And even your demeanor is so relaxing and calm and welcoming, and I'm sure they receive that same experience from you. Tell me about the education part of the ministry. How are you educating the community to help prevent this from happening?
Absolutely. We actually have a just multi-dimensional, multi-platform approach to the education. That is getting out into the communities, offering speakers or trainings. Could be law enforcement, could be nurses, could be your community safety patrol. We are actually so blessed to be able to push forward using a grant provided by Valero and Energy Foundation. Awesome. So we are now actually outreaching to all of the middle schools and high schools to get into their programs so they can have that information to identify and prevent human trafficking.
Yes, absolutely.
And with that being said, do you have any upcoming projects or outreach in the education part of the ministry coming up?
Absolutely. Through that education program, we actually have several parent liaisons and other principals who are very welcoming to our information because they want to protect their kids too. And we're hoping to create that ripple effect where the schools here locally recognize and bring that curriculum or options on board, and therefore it will go on and on throughout Texas and the nation, hopefully.
Amazing. And you mentioned companies like Valero coming in. I mean, it takes money to fund anything like this, especially something that needs awareness. You need to promote it. You've got to get it all out there, get the information out there. And it is so important because these kids, especially with our phones, we're just so channeled in and tuned out of life and our surroundings. And it's something as simple. I saw a video this weekend at the event I was at of a man following a little girl into her home when she was walking home from school and literally went into the entrance of her home, and she knew to fight back, but Lord only knows what his intentions were for her. So you need that education for the youth. It's something they don't think about. You're not a teenager like, oh, I hope nobody comes and steals me away today, but it's a very serious thing.
Absolutely.
So it's great that you're bringing awareness to that.
And unfortunately, the snatch and grab does happen, but so many times it is a false relationship that the trafficker will identify a child or a victim and groom them. It may take months, it could take longer to gain their trust and then break those bonds. And at that point in time, it is extremely difficult for that child or that person to get help and get out.
Exactly, and that really is tying into a lot of the social media stuff that I learned. You mentioned grooming. A lot of them are meeting through these apps where you can't find your location. They're more chat apps, and people are disguising themselves as teenagers. They even get some of their personal information and start threatening them, so that if you don't meet me here, if you don't do this or that, then you're going to pay for it. And those are the circumstances where these children end up in very, very dangerous situations.
Absolutely.
So I know that this is something our viewers are passionate about. Maybe for somebody who has time to volunteer volunteer, to help out in any way, how can they get involved?
We have a fantastic website set up. There are opportunities that are listed. Volunteers can help us with promoting events, participating with events. They can actually sign on to become a speaker or trainer, so in their field, so they can continue to put that information out to their sphere. But we have so many different volunteer opportunities, and we welcome them all because we couldn't possibly do what we do without all of our partners.
Exactly, and this really ties into what we'll be talking about later, is finding your why. So you mentioned there's a lot of different ways to volunteer. You can go online and sign up for the newsletter. You can sign up to volunteer and get involved, or even just donate if you have a company that's looking to give back to the community. This is a serious topic that we need to raise awareness for. But it's about, for an organization like this, knowing your why. Maybe you're somebody who's a great public speaker and has something to share. You have something to offer back. It's amazing what you're doing for the community, and we appreciate you for bringing awareness.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
You back, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, coming up next, we're learning from Nature's Bounty Company how to jumpstart our healthy habits for the whole family. We'll be right back on Coastal Living.